Good afternoon, Bloomington. You're listening to WIUX LP Bloomington. It is Friday at 3:02 p.m. This is Growing Pains, the show where we do a lot of cool things, including interviewing local and touring artists. I'm so excited today to be joined by returning guests. It's been about a year since I last had you all on. Noah and Shane, say hello.
Hey, what's up? This is Noah Steiner. I'm joined by my producer here, Shane. Say hello, Shane.
Welcome back. What has changed in the past year for you? Just give us that so big rundown.
So much has changed for me. I went from being a junior in college to being a senior in college.
Congrats.
I grew an inch.
Really?
No, I didn't actually. I stopped growing in high school. Let's see. Okay, here's what changed. In terms of music, I stopped making songs in 2 days, and I decided I was going to start trying to make songs that were good, and I spent more time on. So that's where I'm at right now musically.
I was re-listening back to our old interview and was once again astounded by how quickly you guys made some of those first songs, especially in 2023. I think the last time you'd come on, one of your songs had come out, you'd recorded it on the Tuesday, mixed it on the Thursday, released it that night, and then we're on Growing Pains the next day. So yeah. But the people have been waiting. We've been waiting for some new music.
It's been like actually it hasn't been over a year, but it's been almost a year. So yeah.
Almost a year. Talk a little bit about this EP that is coming out next week. We're going to preview it here on Growing Pains, but what's different about this? What can you say about it?
Well, I'd say this one is more emo than ever. I'm all in my feels in this album. I Am Not Having Fun is the title of the album, and I truly was not having fun while I wrote this album.
Sure.
It's kind of my anxiety depression album. I was in a pretty dark place when I wrote these songs. Kind of caught in a self-destructive cycle, I would say, and I not to sound basic, but I use my music as a way of working through my feelings.
I think that's the appeal for pretty much everyone. Yeah. For making it. This is exciting. I'm so glad we get to listen to it, get a little early sneak peek, hear a little bit more. I feel like this, it's in line with some of your other stuff, but it's also just feels a little bit more emotionally charged, perhaps.
Definitely. I feel like on the older stuff, I was very intentionally trying to make the songs like funny. And like the lyrics, like they were kind of sad, but they were funny. There was still like, I didn't really take myself seriously. On this one, I'm definitely taking myself maybe too seriously.
Sure.
So.
Two extremes.
What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the production remained the same. So, like, sonically, I think we're in the same ballpark. But thematically and lyrically, it's definitely evolved. It's more consistent as well. It's a complete body of work rather than a bunch of individual pieces. So I think listeners will enjoy being able to listen through it all the way.
Well
awesome.
said.
Well, we're going to just jump right into it. I think we should start from the top with Drag It Along. Sounds
good to me.
Okay. Anything to say about it, or should we just get into it?
This is a song about hangxiety. I wrote this one because I would wake up every morning feeling very anxious, very depressed, and then I would just like spiral all day until I got to go have fun at night, and then I would like have the time of my life every night, and then I would wake up anxious the next morning. That's what this song's about.
All right. Well, we'll get started with the I'm Not Having Fun EP. This is Dragging Along. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy.
Just another day, dragging along, waiting for something to change my mood. And here's a note if you could pass it along. There's some things that I can't say out loud. I'm sorry if you're bored, I'm sorry if you don't. My thoughts are spiraling faster than my coffee as I stir in my sugar and cream. Wonder if they'll notice that I'm wearing the same pants as last night. Do they give a f about me? What the hell did I do or say? Is my reputation damaged in a permanent way? I have no evidence that anything's wrong, but I can't help myself when I'm alone with my thoughts. It's just another day, dragging along, waiting for something to change my mood. And here's a note if you could pass it along. There's some things that I can't say out loud. I'm sorry if you're bored, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear me whining anymore. But if you stick around, maybe tomorrow will be better. It's just another day, dragging along, waiting for something to change my mood. And here's a note if you could pass it along. There's some things that I can't say out loud. I'm sorry if you're bored, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear me whining anymore. But if you stick around, maybe tomorrow will be better. I need
And we're back. A little tease of the next song. That was Dragging Along. Very cool. I think I was super surprised when that was the first song I listened to, because just the kind of acoustic guitar and you
Yeah.
introduction.
Also, it's the slowest song I've ever written by about 100 beats per minute.
I was going to say, this next song, I Need a Break, was total whiplash listening to
Yeah,
it.
that was
It's very
the point,
fast.
yeah.
It's very cool. Did you know that, like, when you were constructing this project, were you writing for the EP? Were you just writing songs and were like, this is going to be an EP? When did you know this was going to be an opener?
I knew when I wrote this song that it was going to be an opener to something. I didn't quite know what it was going to be opening yet, because the original plan was to do a full album, do 10 or 11 tracks, and I had all those tracks written, and this was always going to be the opener of it, but I kind of decided, for time purposes and also just for like quality purposes, I really trimmed it down to these 4 best songs I feel like that I had written at this time. But yeah, I always felt like Dragging Along was a great opener because it starts all acoustic and sad, and then the band comes in and everything, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, what happened to the original album? Why'd we scrap that?
Wasn't enough time.
Sure.
Between the writing and the production, wasn't enough time. Also, to be honest, some of the songs just weren't good enough. Because
Okay.
I'm sure you know, as a songwriter, like, one writes a lot of songs, but not every song is very good. Like,
That was really poetic.
yeah. So I kind of had to get better at, I guess, self-evaluating myself and figuring out what my best songs are, and not just rushing to record everything that I wrote. Shane knows I've come to the studio with some pretty bad songs.
I mean, not necessarily bad, but yeah, some that definitely didn't fit. Like, they wouldn't have made sense in terms of the story. To put them all together.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Like, this is very cohesive, so if somehow to go, I think that's okay.
That's
for
like the
sake of
biggest
project.
compliment you could give me. That's like, that was the main like goal. Once I decided it was going to be this 4-song EP, I was like, all right, this is going to be so cohesive. Like, all these songs are going to go together so well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, how did you, since recording your last singles, how did it kind of change for you, Shane? What were you thinking going into this new project?
Yeah, so one of the big things we wanted to do with doing one song at a time, it was really hard to keep a consistent sound. We would use different guitar tones every time.
Different
with
guitars.
Different guitars, different rigs. Like, I collect guitars. Whatever guitar I had in the lineup at the time, we'd be like, whatever, that one's good enough. So for this, we really wanted to focus on maintaining a consistent sound across the whole piece, to really just keep it, like, continuous, especially because we have a lot of the tracks that play, like, right into each other.
Right,
And
yeah.
so we, like, before we even put any recordings down, we picked out what guitars we were going to use, what amps we were going to use. And so we had like a palette basically to pick from to just keep everything consistent and sounding cohesive, really.
Cool. Well, yeah, this is exciting. I think we should hit the next song, which is I Need a Break.
This is my favorite one, by the way.
Okay, cool. It feels very much like, and I imagine this is like your drum part. You're just having a ton of fun.
Yeah, this one is very, very fun to play. And maybe after the song, I'll tell you about the drum part a little bit more. We can talk about it.
Okay, deal. Well, everyone buckle up. I'm not even going to fade in. We're just going to play it. So this is I Need a Break. Noah Steiner. Enjoy.
I need a break from it all, I need a break from the alcohol, and all the issues keep me down. Can I crash at your place? I think I'm losing my mind, and I don't wanna be a basket case. I need to make a change, cause I'm falling apart, and I can't keep living this way. I need a break from myself, cause all my habits are driving me crazy. Easy. 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 I need a break from it all, I need a break from the alcohol, and all the issues keep me down. Can I crash at your place? I think I'm losing my mind, and I don't wanna be a basket case. I need to make a change, cause I'm falling apart, and I can't keep living this way. I need a break from myself, cause all my habits are driving me crazy. Keep me down. Can I crash at your place? I think I'm losing my mind, and I don't wanna be a basket case. I'm about to reach my breaking point, and I don't know if I can take much more. I'm about to reach my breaking point, and I need a break or I'm not gonna make it. I just need a break, a little tropical vacay, where we can waste the whole damn day. Do you have some time? We can sit back and unwind, have some fun before we die. I just need a break,
right, and we're back. That was I Need a Break. Just to clarify, that weird glitching thing going on, that's not actually in the song. That was a WIUX radio messing it up.
WIUX magic.
That was it was the remix. So yes, but wow, what a crazy bass song. Tell us a little bit more about those drums.
Yeah, this was my favorite drum part to record for sure. And Shane was saying during the break, every time we go to record drums, we basically turn his bedroom into a recording studio, like flip the mattress up on the wall, set up the drum set, mic it all up. And it's kind of a long process. It's definitely not easy.
I mean, I'm sleeping on the ground for a week when we do that.
Yeah. Well, you're sleeping on the couch. Do you actually sleep on the ground? Yeah. Well, I can't tell you where it is. I mean, that's your own decision. But anyway, I was going to say, it's been like a major struggle to find a drummer that I think is like really able to play these parts, since it is so fast. And I finally got one, and I'm so happy about it. So
yeah,
it's a lot of fun hearing the parts live, I guess, fully fleshed out, with the whole band playing together.
In the studio, it's just Noah and I there, and that's everything. So it never actually gets played fully until we take it to the band and play it live.
Yeah. When you're writing the parts, do you consider if there's 5 guitars, we won't be able to hear all this live? Are you thinking about that, or you're just let's put everything we can onto this track and figure it out?
We kind of put everything down, but then after it's down, Noah goes through and kind of figures out the most important parts that he wants to come through in the live version, and then is able to say, because we have 3 guitars when we play it live, and then divvy up what are the 3 most important parts that need to come through.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about your band, because I mean, we played WX Battle of the Bands together, and it was really exciting to see some of your earlier singles live.
I can't believe you would bring that up after you beat me at the Battle of the Bands.
I wasn't gonna say anything. It was a great show though.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was very fun. Yeah, so my band is 5 pieces, including myself. I'm singing, obviously, and playing rhythm guitar. And then I have 2 lead guitarists, kind of an innovation in the guitar world that I'm going to take credit for. I have Shane here playing 1 lead guitar, and I have my good friend Warren playing the other lead guitar. I have my friend Franklin playing bass.
Yes.
And I have my new friend Colin playing drums. And I kind of feel like it's like the all-star team. I feel like I found all the best musicians that I could on each of their respective instruments and got them all in the room, and it sounds really great when we're playing together.
Yeah. Just how are they playing pretty true to the parts you've written? Are they coming up with things on their own? I'd
say they're playing true to the parts I've written, but they're all good enough to come up with hip things to do on their own too. It's not all just playing it like it is on the record. There's parts where I want them to do a little more than that, and they are doing that, so it works out.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Shane, how did you feel playing those songs?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, because a lot of the time, too, in the studio, if we were just we need a solo here or we need a part, we'd kind of come up with it on the spot as we were, finding where there were gaps, sonically. And so it was kind of funny going back and, trying to figure those out live, because we were like, oh, we did that in 1 take. I have no clue how to play that, and so we would have to, relearn it, which is a fun experience. And it's just fun, making everything come together and sound good in a way that we can present live.
Yeah.
Shane said it. We have to we're listening to it. We're like, oh my God, how did we play that? We have to go back and figure out some random lick that we did one time ever 5 months ago, and then try and remember how to play it live.
Yeah. Well, that's fun at times, but I bet, yeah, it's nice to have people who can come up with their own things.
Yeah.
Do you think in future Noah Steiner recorded music, you'd try to write with the full band, or do you kind of you and Shane doing the...
Definitely for this project, I like it being mostly me with Shane's help. I feel like in a lot of bands, I feel like a struggle is democracy. There's too many opinions that are conflicting, or not, even if they're not conflicting, they're just not quite on the same page with each other.
Right.
And when it's the solo project, it's pretty much I know how I want it to sound, and Shane understands kind of what I want, and together we're able to execute a singular vision instead of trying to mesh together 5 different visions for a song.
Yeah. That's the thing. You get, I don't know, I've gone through that as well. You're protective over your creative works, and then you're like, but I need people to help me out. And yeah, but that's exciting. I do want to ask though, you guys played under Jorts.
Yeah.
Is Jorts the name, or is Jorts coming back?
I'd say Jorts is still the name of my band. You know, it's
Noah Steiner and the Jorts.
It's Noah Steiner and the Jorts, but you know, for all marketing purposes at this point, it's Noah Steiner. But like when we play live, I'm still gonna introduce them as the Jorts. Like,
I like it.
yeah,
I like it. I feel like sometimes like band names, it'd be like they're long, you know.
Yeah.
But Jorts is short to the point.
I was really on the fence about whether or not to do it as my own name or as a band name, but at this point, I'm going all in on my real name.
Noah Steiner, yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, cool. We're gonna listen to the next song. I think this is my favorite one
Really?
off of the EP. Yeah, I think
This one's really good.
the
mean, it is, yeah.
melodic line is just really stuck out to me.
Okay,
So,
cool, thanks.
yeah, Subject to Change.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from you? This kind of reminded me a little bit of a BMV song
I see that.
with like there's like just a fun little guitar riff that kind of felt reminiscent of that. But
Yeah, I would say, well, that guitar riff that you're talking about, oh my God, it was so hard to record. We did like 60 takes of that one little like 1 second riff, and finally we got one and we just copy and pasted it. There's a little trick of the trade here. You don't actually have to play the part consistently every time. You have to get it right one time and then copy and paste it.
exciting. Well, everyone listen up for that. This is Subject to Change. Noah Steiner. Enjoy.
Feels like I did the whole thing wrong. Feels like only yesterday I had it all and threw it all away. I'm gonna need another break, at least a few more days. I'm not having fun anymore, and I'm killing myself, and I don't know what for.
And we're back. Oh my God, another tease of the next song.
That's the problem with them all flowing together. You don't know where one song stops and the next one starts.
I know, but that will make for a cool, cohesive listening experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. do you want to talk a little bit more about the production, Shane, or do you feel like?
Yeah, I mean, we can. Is there anything in particular that you wanted to know?
Talk about the guitar part, the guitar riff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that guitar riff was crazy. So, like, we were only able to play it at tempo, like, mostly correct one time. And what we ended up having to do is, as Noah mentioned before the break, copy and paste. But to make sure that didn't sound like too robotic, we ended up having to go in manually, cut out every single note, and then like slightly adjust it in pitch and tempo and like where it lined up to make it sound a little bit more organic. So it wasn't just as like, yeah, we only did this once and then like copied and pasted it. And there were just a lot of little production tricks throughout the whole process that we ended up using to try to make it sound like we wanted it to be clean and polished and everything should sound intentional. But at the same time, we didn't want to lose like the DIY sounding spirit that makes a lot of the emo albums really great. As you can tell that like they were having fun playing it and we didn't want to lose that.
Yeah, no, it sounds like we've been saying cohesive. Yeah, so you were saying that you guys started recording this project, drums and guitar, at the beginning of last semester?
Yeah, so most of these songs were written by, I'd say the last one probably got written by September even, that late. And then pretty much immediately we started recording in September and October and got all the drums and guitar done basically, tracked, not mixed, but we got it all recorded. And then we took a couple months off. We both got busy. And then when we came back, I borrowed a bass from my friend Andrew. Shout out, Andrew.
Shout out, Andrew.
And we recorded bass and vocals in a couple weeks, in like January probably.
Yeah.
Early January.
Something in that realm. It was over, several weeks because we would just like whenever we had a couple hours here and there.
Yeah.
Just get done what we can.
And then spent a couple more weeks mixing, and yeah, that was it. So, it was probably, if you pushed it all together, it was probably about 3.5 months of work time. But it was just spread out over a longer time.
Yeah. Our final song is also the title track of this. Why did you name the whole EP after this song, or what came first?
I think I honestly came up with the name of the album before I wrote this song even. Like, I just like thought of like, I'm Not Having Fun. I was like, man, that's a cool album title. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Before I even knew like what the concept was or anything, like it just sounded cool to me. And then once I started figuring out the concept more and figured out that all these songs could be related, then I started writing. I knew I needed kind of like a closer, a title track, and then this one came pretty easy. Some songs are hard to write. Like, I Need a Break took me like a long time to write because there's so many different parts. It's like kind of a long song. There's a lot of change ups, and yeah, that one was pretty hard to write. But I'm Not Having Fun just like came out in one day.
Yeah,
it was an easy song.
It was the first one we finished. We had this one mixed even before like the others were completely like all the ideas were out.
Crazy. Well, that makes sense. Kind of guided the vision of the project. But, well, yeah. I mean, is there anything that you want to say about this EP as a whole? I mean, it's not even out yet. It's out. How are you feeling about the actual release?
I'm so excited.
Next week, yeah.
But I gotta make more TikToks. I gotta market it.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited. It's like, to get real honest on here, with the earlier singles that I put out last year, like we said earlier, they were recorded in 2 days. They were kind of jokey. Like, I didn't really care how they were received. I didn't really do too much to promote them. They were really just for fun. With this, I put a lot of effort into it. I was pretty honest on it, and I'm like really hoping that people pick up on those things and enjoy it. So I'm nervous, but I'm mostly excited.
Good. That's how it should be. Shane, how do you feel?
Yeah, same way. I mean, I'm just glad to be working on more music. It's always fun. Noah and I have worked together a lot, and so I think our workflow has gotten pretty good, and so we can really just like make whatever we feel like making rather than being constrained by anything, which is really nice. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, I think we'll wrap up with the EP. I still have more stuff to play after this and more questions to ask you, but we're gonna listen to I'm Not Having Fun.
Let's do it.
Final song. Enjoy.
Kicking me out of my place, and I need a place to stay. Can you help me, or should I call back on another day? I'm waking up in cold sweats every night, wondering if you were right, that my self-destructive tendencies are gonna bring me down. with it anymore, because my life feels like a chore, and it's driving me insane. How long does the melancholy last? How come my life moves so fast, and how come nothing stays the same? I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun.
And we're back. And we're back. That was the conclusion of the EP to come out next week. Yeah, I was remarking how if you're a Noah Steiner fan, then you'll know that there's a
All
lot
three
of
of you guys out there.
there's a lot of references to your past music. Talk about
Yes. Yeah, so the entire second verse of I'm Not Having Fun is pretty much just me naming all my old songs, because when the plan originally was to do a full 11-song album, or maybe not all, but a lot of the old singles were going to be on the album. So this was my way of kind of being like, oh, well, this isn't a concept album, but I'm going to like name all these old songs and kind of tie them all together. So I think I say A Permanent Vacation would be nice. That's one.
You Don't Have the Time.
You Don't Have the Time. You Can't Even Call Me Back. That's 3. Everybody Else, 4, is Killing Me. You Crashed My Car into a Tree. That was a little sneaky, because I say in my song Audrey, I say you crashed my car into a tree.
Yes.
So that's not a direct reference, but yeah. And then I Don't Think I'm Gonna Last. That's not a reference to anything. I just need something that rhymed, I think.
But pretty cool, and it definitely feels like a nice. I love intentional closers to albums like that, where they're very self-referential. But yeah, just a very cool song. Yeah, if you had to incentivize anybody to stay tuned, what would you say to the people? You've pitched yourself very well, but
Stay tuned for the show right now, or for my music to come out?
For your music to come.
Oh, I would say I think this is a really relatable album for a lot of people, and especially for college students. I think the lyrics are something that a lot of college students would be able to understand and maybe see a little bit of themselves in. Also, I think a lot of the songs are pretty catchy on here. That's maybe my biggest specialty as a songwriter, is I think I can write catchy hooks.
Yes.
And this album has no shortage of catchy hooks.
Yeah.
If you like emo, if you like garage rock, if you like fast music with sad lyrics, like this is for you. This is the one. Listen to it, please. I'm begging you.
Asked very nicely. Shane, how about you?
Yeah, I also think we're going to start playing these songs live here soon, and I think that's definitely something to look forward to. Because live, anytime with any artist, obviously, whenever you get a chance to play live, you get to hear things that don't always happen in the studio, you know? With everyone there, we can be a little bit more spontaneous, riff off of each other. So I think it'll be really fun to hear how these sound live.
Yeah. And, I mean, when's the next opportunity we get to hear them live? I hear there's a show cooking.
Yeah, we have a release party show planned for February 24th, and that'll be a week after the release. So I expect everyone in the crowd to know all the songs and be singing along the whole time.
And if you're listening to this now, you have 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one on the calendar. I'm trying to get more. All the house show venues are so like booked up this semester.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I'm sure you experienced that too.
It's so professional. You know, they've got submission forms, they've got calendars, release.
Send us your demo reel.
Well, yeah, like what are you talking about? I'm playing in somebody's basement, send you a demo reel, like.
It's definitely there's so many opportunities in Bloomington, but also sometimes you're like, what happened? Like,
yeah. It feels like it wasn't even like this like a year ago.
No, because last year you could call someone up and say, hey, can I get a show in like two weeks or something? And they're like, oh, great, we'll see what we can do. When we were booking shows this month for our other band, the BMV, we were booking stuff out like 2-3 months in advance.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy.
I do not want to do that. I do not like planning out that far in advance. I would rather book a show for like 3 weeks in advance.
If our release schedule has been any indicator, we're not very good at planning over here in the Jorts camp.
That's funny. But I mean, you've sourced a venue, Shane's house.
Yes.
I will not leak the address on the air, but you can find information online.
We'll post about it in the near future on Instagram at Noah Steiner Music.
@plug. Stay tuned for all those deets. I did want to ask you a little bit about the BMV because that is, I haven't had you all on the show. I would love to at some point. But yeah, that's your other band. And you guys put out a project since we last talked.
We have.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how far away that feels for you. Like, are you still talk a little bit?
Distant past for me,
Really?
at least.
In terms of, yeah, so for that, like, we started writing that one literally the day. Like, we happened to all be in Cincinnati for the release of the first album, which that was like in 2021 or something. And so we had those songs in the pipeline for like two plus years before they came out.
Wow,
And
yeah.
Because we all live in different cities and states, it's really hard to actually come together to record. So we would just do like a day here, a day there, and we did that for like literally a year.
That is hard. That is hard, especially for an album, like a full album and a long one too.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm sure that's something you have experience with Indigo Boulevard.
Sure.
Is it's just so hard to get everyone to be able to, like, sit down for more than a couple days at a time. And when, exactly like you said, I mean, I think that album was over half an hour, which it was like 11 songs, including the intro track. It was just, it took a long time, but we wanted to be sure that, like, we were putting out something that we could look back on and be more satisfied with than the first album, which was a little rough around the edges, to say the least.
I think it's really good. But I do really like Help Wanted. I think it's you guys are great.
Thank you.
You guys are a great band, and you also have I've just heard we share friends. You guys have a following in Cincinnati?
Oddly enough, yeah. It's very appreciated. But yeah, we seem to have there's more people in Cincinnati that know of us than probably here, even though we play here probably more frequently with our other bands and stuff.
Yeah. I think it's probably, I think the reason for that is because the BMV, like, yeah, we're pretty good in the studio. We're an awesome live band. I'm not ashamed to say that. We're a really awesome live band, and there's a lot more of like a local music house show scene in Cincinnati, especially around the UC campus, than there is here in Bloomington. But I think it's our live shows that have kind of gained us that following that we do have.
Yeah. Do you feel, we were kind of talking a little bit about this when listening to a song, but do you feel like there are any acts in the surrounding area that, you know, are good companions to the BMV or to your music? Is there anybody that you're like, I would love to play with you, or I really love the stuff you're putting out? It kind of reminds me of stuff that I'd want to put out.
Bands in, like, you're saying in Bloomington?
In Bloomington, local, small.
My God, I don't even know any of the, like, what do you think, Shane? I don't even know if there's like any emo bands in Bloomington right now.
I mean, there are a couple new ones. I think Inward Heel is just coming up.
Okay, yeah.
The Rays are in town. They're pretty good. And but the bands that I mainly listen to are like a little bit. I've been a really big fan of bands like Leisure Hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like Leisure Hour a lot. I think they write really catchy stuff. Summer Brews, I really, really like Summer Brews. They're also based out of Indy. They do emo. They're more of like the fifth wave thing.
Yeah.
But I'm a really big fan of their work, and so seeing them around is always really fun, and yeah, love to play with them.
I'll also shout out Equipment. They're from Ohio,
Equipment
not from
is
Indiana,
fire.
but they're another really awesome modern emo band that I feel like, you know, might have some crossover appeal with the Jorts.
Yeah, the Jorts fans. I think it's I feel like I didn't really know that much about Midwestern emo till I got to the Midwest. And
Surprise.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's people all over, but I feel like you guys, like the BMV, has occupied a very certain niche when you were here. But I feel like your music kind of bridges the gap between like Midwestern emo or emo in general and like pop and things that, you know, other people are listening to here.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's kind of the goal, is to write songs that at their core are pretty much just pop songs. Like they have pop progressions, they have pop hooks that people want to sing along to, but taking a lot of influence from emo and garage rock and pop punk, like trying to, like, I guess, put a little bit of edge on pop music, or trying to smooth out emo music a little bit. That's what I'm trying to do.
Cool. How would you feel about listening to one of your songs off of the BMV album?
Let's do it.
Okay, we'll hear that other kind of end. We're gonna listen to, in quotation marks, Surf's Up, parentheses 2007, like, changed my life, dude. You guys are kind of known for having very long titles.
There's a story behind this one, and most of them.
Tell us about this. Tell us about it.
Well, our guitarist Oscar and I went to a summer camp together when we were like 12 or 13 years old, and there was a lot of really strange characters, but there's this one kid, like, we just like walked by him one day, he was like, yeah, Surf's Up, that movie about surfing, like Penguins from 2006. Like that movie changed my life, dude. And we were like, Surf's Up? Like that, the animated movie changed your life? It was just like, it was shocking to hear somebody say that movie of all movies had changed their life. So we had to name a song after it.
Yeah, obviously. Got to tribute that. That's so funny. And that was, that's a long time ago too. So
honestly, a lot of the BMV songs, we've all been friends for so long. So a lot of the song titles are like decade old
Inside jokes. From, like, yeah, like grade school.
That's very funny. Well, let's get into it. Let's listen to Surf's Up, 2007, like, changed my life, dude. By the BMV. Enjoy.
I'm trying to find where we're at. We're halfway to Midtown. We already knew that. If you would just show me the map, save us this headache, get us there faster. Things I hold, but if alchemy turns lead to gold, then maybe I can turn this thing around. Put me back on my feet again. What do I need? What do I mean? I just wanna feel relief again, somewhere other than the backseat of my 2015 Honda Odyssey. Cause I can't tell where we've been. Driving for hours, the road is still winding, but I know if I don't butt in, you'll keep the map closed, and we'll never get there. And I don't know what our future holds, but I know that we will both grow old, and maybe someday I'll see you around. Put me back on my feet again. What do I need? What do I mean? I just wanna feel relief again. You can help me out of here if you just tell me what you need. Put me back on my feet again. What do I need? What do I mean? I just wanna feel relief again, somewhere other than the backseat of my 2015 Honda Odyssey.
Okay, and we're back. That was the BMV's song. I'm not going to name the title again. Hopefully you remember it. But it's off of their most recent album that came out in August. Exciting. We are getting close to wrap up. I just want to ask, I mean, I've been very reflective these days. Final semester. You've got one more.
Yeah.
Shane, you're about to graduate though, right?
Yeah.
How are we just feeling about life? How are we feeling about music and change, and what is your perspective? Are you guys thinking about that? Or are you just kind of doing what you do?
Yeah, I mean, how could you not think about it, right? Like, it's a major life change in all aspects, so of course I'm thinking about it. Mm-hmm. But I would say that I'm not really stressed about it. I'm feeling pretty zen about everything right now. I think that music will continue to be a huge part of my life. I don't really have any plans to stop writing, recording, playing music. So, whatever the future holds, I think that music is still gonna hold me down.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, similar thing. I definitely don't plan on stopping making music anytime soon. I think the bigger question is just like where that's going to end up happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, I'll definitely continue to do that.
Yeah. I don't know if you feel this way, but I think when I was just in my first band, I was like, if this band ends, I'll have nothing. But then once I've been in different bands, you're like, oh, life goes on. Like you can make music with different people and like, I don't know. I think once you get out of that first band or you like get that second experience, you're like, wow.
I never had that experience because I started out playing, my first band was a jazz combo.
Mm-hmm.
And what comes with that territory is kind of like, it's a lot of times a different band every gig. Like it was the same core group, but it was different people playing it was never, or a lot of times it wasn't quite the same band twice. So it was always like, it never felt like the first band that's like these people and it's like, we're playing these songs. It was always kind of like, it was always up in the air. So
yeah,
I feel like that's how I felt my entire music career. I felt like I'm kind of like a cog in the machine. So it doesn't feel so bad when I like move on to the next project.
Mm-hmm. It's just a different cog,
Yeah.
Still turns.
We're also in kind of a unique position is like all of us that play together now we all grew up together like from the time we were pretty young children.
Right.
And so we've always been making music together. And that same core group, even though we've like been in different bands, I mean, there were times when I sat in with that jazz combo. We were actually in like concert band together all in middle school, high school, everyone was in band. And then once we started like playing in, other groups, rock groups, funk groups, we always, like one or two of us pretty much always overlap. So we've been pretty privileged to be able to play with the same people for such a long time.
Yeah, that's cool. And especially even now that you're in different states that you still manage to keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that will be that way.
I think the B&B has kept these friendships like stronger than a lot of other friends from high school that, I go to college in different states and I don't see as often. Like the B&B guys, I still see them like once a month for whatever gig we have. And we've stayed close through that. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's nice to have friendships. It's nice to have the music and to have the friendship, and when they both go together and they work, like
well said.
It's all exciting. Well, we are just about wrapping up on our time. Do you want to play Audrey or
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Heck yeah. We'll have that play us out. I just want to say though, thanks for coming on. Thanks for previewing your EP. It's exciting. It's very this is a new chapter in the Noah Steiner
very much
discography.
Thanks so much for having us back on.
Thank you.
Always a privilege to come on Growing Pains. Listen to the EP when it comes out, February 16th.
February 16th. And they can find you again at Noah Steiner.
At Noah Steiner Music on Spotify, on TikTok now, on Instagram, all of the above.
Awesome. Well, this has been Growing Pains. I will be back. I'm here every week, Friday at 3 p.m. Next week, I've got a special little show. I won't spoil it now, but it will be a little 30-minute, something cute. The week after, I have the band Sungaze from Cincinnati, Ohio. So come back, stick around. We are going to play Audrey by Noah Steiner. Thank you all for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your Fridays and have a good weekend. Goodbye.
Disclaimer, this song is not about a real person.
Oh, Audrey, you could kill me and I wouldn't say a thing. The last time I had you over, I could not tell what you mean.